Hey everyone, Cahlen here, and today I am back in civilization, at least for 3 days. So last night I slept in a bed for the first time in I think 10 months. There might have been something that happened, but I don't think so. And then I took a shower this morning. So I hadn't bathed in 10 months either, right? No baths, no showering. And I was kind of expecting like there would be a lot of dirt and stuff like that, but I had mirrors and bright lights, and I was able to like really examine, and I was like perfectly clean before I even took a shower. And I took the shower, and I thought there would be like lots of dirt and stuff, but it was basically no different than any other person you might examine on the street who's probably bathing every single day. So this idea that we need to bathe every single day is totally false. So, anyways, the secret to that is a wool base layer. Wool base layer. It is antimicrobial. Eating clean food, because a big reason you stink is because you're pushing all that crap out of yourself. And sunbathing, basically. So that's basically the secret. Oh, and you can also try and get some probiotics, or the actual bacteria. What do they call that when you eat that? You eat the bacteria. Can't remember that word right now. Anyways, it's good to have bacteria in your belly. It's also good to have bacteria on your skin, and there's certain places you can get bacteria, good bacteria, to put on your skin. And once you put it on, as long as you don't murder it with something like soap, then you're going to always have that, right? And so I think, I did that many years ago, and I made a point not to murder it, so I also got that going for me. So that is an important element as well. So anyways, it felt good to take a shower, and it felt good to sleep in a bed, but honestly, I kind of thought it would almost be jarring to sleep in a bed or to take a shower, because I haven't done it in so long, or even to use a toilet, right? But, I didn't even notice that it was something I hadn't done in a while. Of course, I grew up using all of these things, so I don't know. I don't really notice the difference between that and camping out. Everything feels pretty much the same, even though I'm in a very different environment. So that's good. It means that I'm able to adapt to lots of different situations, and it doesn't really get to the point where I even notice too much of it affecting things like my sleep or my well-being or anything like that. So anyways, so I am in Los Alamos, which I imagine many of you know is where they made the atomic bomb, the ones that were used in Japan during World War II. So, also, I don't know if you know Christopher Nolan, who did the Batman movies and a lot of other good movies, I think Inception as well. He is filming another movie called, I think, Oppenheimer. And Oppenheimer is the guy who was like the head scientist for the Manhattan Project of creating the atomic bomb. So anyways, they were filming here yesterday at Oppenheimer's old house with Matt Damon. I think Matt Damon was there. I didn't go. This is all hearsay, right? Because ultimately I personally don't really care, but I think it's fun to talk about. And also Cillian Murphy, I think, the guy who played Scarecrow in the Batman. He's the guy playing Oppenheimer, and they look a lot alike. So that's a good match there. So anyways, I thought that was cool. Also, it's interesting, I was talking with someone yesterday about how if you're listening to the news, which I also started listening to because I'm in a house with people who do this, you hear them saying the key word, nuclear, and you have to understand that human beings have magical power, and what they imagine and what is in their mind gets created. And individuals can have higher or lower amount of power there, but even if you group a lot of weak powered humans together and get them all thinking the same thing and expecting the same future, then as a person, if you're a person like a sorcerer who wants that future to come to pass, you know that you need to put these ideas into the minds of the people, right? So that's why we have all these movies, which over the years are basically telling us the way things are, or how they want them to be in the future, right? Almost all movies are like this. And then, the news is saying nuclear, over and over and over and over. Every single news, even Fox News, even, the opposite of Fox News. And so they're obviously trying to at least freak people out with this idea, and then there's the movie that they're going to be putting out about the whole topic. So anyways, that's how these things work, right? And so, one of the best things we can do is not let them influence us, and so not get to use our magical power, our power to imagine a situation into existence, right? And it's more than just imagining. You have to imagine and then put your own intention and action towards that goal, and then the universe will support you with that. And that's how you get powerful at it. But still, even at a kind of a baseline blur of humanity, where you still have an effect on how the world turns out. So if you mass mind control people into seeing it playing out a certain way, then you're basically clearing the path for you to push the world in that direction, right? So that's how the sorcerers work. Anyways, I'll be in civilization for a few more days, and then I'm going to go back to a different wildernessy area and help someone work on their house for about 3 weeks. Something interesting, it seems like an opportunity. Basically, I feel like the universe is giving me a few options about what this year might turn out like, and kind of in my mind, I like the idea of going and being alone and living out in the wilderness most of the time by myself, and really learning how to do that. But there's other opportunities that have been it's kind of offering itself to me. Like I was in a Lowe's yesterday, and helping someone buy some stuff, and this other person who I had worked for like a year and a half, 2 years ago on a construction job. Basically, he's a boss of a construction company. He really likes me, and he saw me and came up and talked to me. And this is not a place he would normally be. It was like kind of like out of the place that he would normally be working, right? So it was really strange that he would be there. Anyways, he came up and talked to me, and he's telling me how they are like building a ton of houses right now, and they have a very small crew. He basically said I could come work for him, and he would give me a place to stay on like his 1,000 acres of land up in the mountains, right, with my own little apartment. So part of me, I don't honestly feel very drawn to that, but it's good to know that I have the option. So the only reason I would do that is for money, but honestly, I don't really feel like I need it. I have $20 in my pocket, but if I would feel exactly the same if I had $0 in my pocket, because I'm staying with people who I know are, when I stay with people, they want to feed me, right? They like having me around, and they're happy to feed me. And so I know that there are always people who are going to be like that with me. And even if there isn't, let's say we get in a big fight or something and they kick me out, right? I got my backpack and it has 3 weeks of food in it, right? I could easily get back to where I was on foot, right, within a couple of days. So, I just don't have any fear. I don't need the money that's in my pocket. I might go spend it on like some peanut butter or something and really indulge. But it's cool not to need money, right? And so I have a couple of these type of offers for jobs, and it would be a lot. I'd probably make a lot of money. It'd also be a lot of work, and I wouldn't really be doing exactly what I want to be doing, right? And so I don't know how much I'll do that. We'll see. I guess part of me thinks I should start thinking about, it's time. You've gone to the extreme, Cahlen. You lived outside. You didn't shower for almost a year, right? Okay, time to build back up. And I'm just like, but I kind of like it like this, honestly. It's nice that my job is to come and make videos, and even though I make less than $200 a month doing this, it's basically all I need to feed myself and keep myself with the gear I need, and even kind of slowly upgrade my gear and increase my food supply. So why would I want to get a full-time job or even a part-time job, So anyways, maybe I'll build up, but eventually. But this year, I'm still leaning towards being a bum. So the bum life, that's where it's at. All right, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider sharing it. If you'd like to help me out in a more substantial way, you can learn how to do so at cahlen.org/gift. And if you'd like to have a one-on-one conversation with me, whether publicly or privately, you can learn how to do so at cahlen.org/one-on-one. Thanks again for watching.